Barcelona reached the Champions League quarterfinals for the first time since 2020. I told the players to stay calm. Nobody was gonna die today. The press were saying we were the buffoons in the Champions League. Unfair criticism from journalists. Was that necessary? Are we still the buffoons? Xavi said after beating Napoli. This season, Barça looks like one of the Champions League dark horses. No one expects them to succeed, with some experts expecting the Blaugrana to be thrashed in the final 8. Just like they were in the summer of 2020 when Bayern Munich defeated Barcelona 8-2. Still, such expectations demonstrate a complete misunderstanding of what Xavi's current project is all about. At the end of January, Barcelona looked like an unbalanced team, the team that didn't have a clue what they were playing. But now it's a completely different thing. A month and a half has passed since Xavi announced his retirement at the end of the season. The manager pulled this trick in order to release the public pressure from his players and start from scratch. Well, believe it or not, it has had brought unbelievable results. After the defeat versus Villarreal, the Catalans played 9 matches, from which 6 they won and drew 3 times. In other words, since this shocking announcement, these Spanish giants have not been beaten, netting 18 goals and conceding 7. On average, they now score 2 goals per game and concede less than 1 goal. The gap to Girona in La Liga was reduced to 1 point and to 8 points behind Real Madrid. 10 match days before the league's finishing line, and Barça are still in the race. Moreover, Xavi's men also showed their best in the duel with the reigning Italian champions Napoli, a confident performance in both legs that resulted in a total score of 4-2. Give us a like if you are stunned by Barcelona's mid-season transformation and are genuinely happy about the success of Xavi's team. People didn't believe me. I said that the team would be released if I announced my decision to step aside at the end of the season. So what now? We are in the quarterfinals. As one of the top 8 teams in Europe, we show that we are a Champions League level team. After Barcelona's display against Napoli, no one can deny their UCL final stages level. The team's pressing and attacking was at the top. Thus, they looked much stronger than the Parthenoppians in both legs. We put in a very complete performance. The team was very good with and without the ball, and we dominated many aspects of the game, noted a happy Xavi in his post-match interview. As of this moment, when people talk about the Champions League favorites, everyone primarily mentions Manchester City, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, and Inter Milan. You know, Barça are often mentioned rather as underdogs, in whom almost no one believes, though we have a slightly different opinion. Barça, which comes out on the pitch with motivation, intensity, and putting pressure on the opponents, makes a team capable of competing against anyone. Sport as director Joan Vales wrote after the game. There is no doubt that Barça can be quite an uncomfortable opponent for any team in the quarterfinals. Today's Barcelona stands out as a well-balanced top team with its own stylish sides. The turning point of the season for Blaugrana was definitely the clash versus Alaves, in which Xavi experimented with Christensen as a defensive midfielder, or as they say nowadays, a false defender. The transformation of the Dane, who is able to win a duel on any pitch area and possesses a great vision, had finally balanced the roster, which suffered without an elite defensive midfielder of Busquets' caliber. Andres is not perfect in this position, but his defensive work and the way the Catalan squad has been rebuilt since then has changed everything. They are now a very complex but very well-oiled mechanism. The return of thrashed has also given the necessary boost in terms of reliability on the back. Speaking about defense, Barcelona plays with 4 defenders: Koundé, Araujo, Cubarsí, and Cancelo, but when attacking, it's just the Koundé, Araujo, Cubarsí trio on the back, while Joao moves to the left fullback or winger role. Christensen gets placed not far from the back 3 so that as soon as the possession is lost, he can immediately cover the space needed to stop the opponent's attacking attempt. As for the midfield, here Barça counts on Gundogan, Frankie, and Pedri. However, when 2 of them picked up injuries, Fermin and Rafinha took the spotlight, since both of them can be used on the left side of the attack or in the center. At last, the attacking line, where the key role is given to Lewandowski, Yamal, and Rafinha. Felix, Roque or Guyu may step into action as substitutes. Xavi is quite variable in his tactical decisions and lineup selection for a particular game. But most of the time, the Catalans stick to 4-4-2 in defense and 3-5 formation while attacking. Thierry Henry recently spoke about Xavi's tactical genius, praising the Barcelona head coach's football intelligence. Following the first leg against Napoli, Xavi joined an interview with CBS Sports, and Henry, who is now in charge of the French youth team, turned to the Blaugrana coach and his former Barça teammate. "I'm surprised with the work you've done. I don't care what people say. You won the La Liga, so feel proud. I know you. I'm very proud to have shared a field with you. You taught me a lot at the Barça. I will always remember the day you shut me up and said, 'Speak when you win something with Barcelona, and then you'll understand what this club means.' So thank you for that. Your brain, for me, is the second. I think the only one I know above you is Pep in terms of how you watch football." These words once again confirm how underrated Barcelona and Xavi are when people say that Xavi's project at Barça has failed. This club is still the reigning La Liga champion, which competes for 2 trophies, La Liga and the Champions League. They totally deserve some respect, and rightly so. 2 weeks ago, we started to train harder, more intensely. We are playing better recently. It's time to show that we can compete against anyone, Robert Lewandowski told, and indeed, February and March were the months when many Barcelona players made a step up. Koundé, Araujo and Christensen's form got significantly improved. Yamal got strengthened in terms of physique. Rafinha and Ter Stegen returned from injury just in time to deliver a top-notch performance against Napoli, while Cancelo and Gundogan were already having a pretty good season. And don't forget the 17-year-old centre-back Pau Cubarsí, who has been one of the most exciting discoveries of the season, along with Fermin Lopez, Vitor Roque, and Marc Guiu, who all leave the impression of very promising young talents. So far, the team is missing a number of highly skilled and important footballers: Gavi, Alonso, Balde, Ferran, Frankie, and Pedri. Alonso, Ferran, and Frankie are expected to be fit for April's fixtures, while Pedri may be back on track for the clash against Real Madrid on April 21st. Despite the progress, Barça still has potential to grow, and this is one of the reasons why the Catalans are the dark horse of the Champions League, a cup tournament where anyone can come out on top. If even Chelsea managed to capture the UCL title in recent years, why shouldn't Barça have a try? Think about it. Barça offers a great mix of experience and youth. Under the right circumstances, anything is possible, right? Barcelona began to concede much less, and there is an explanation for that. Under Xavi, the Catalans have significantly improved in terms of creating the offside traps for their opponents. In the last 6 games, we've caught the opposition offside 4-5 times per game, compared to our season average of 2.5 times per game before that, almost double our usual rate, writes one of the Barça bloggers who specializes in football analytics. Again, since the manager's decision to quit the team, it seemed that the first person who liberated from it was Xavi himself. Here we once again have the same coach who, in his first year and a half at Barça, knew exactly what to do and how to bring them back to the elite. Xavi has become more daring and inventive in his decisions than he was in the first half of the season. For example, let's go back to the match against Napoli. Everyone expected these lineup from the first minutes, though 17-year-old Cubarsí, 20-year-old Fermin Lopez, and 16-year-old Lamine Yamal came out on the pitch instead. Barcelona became the first team in the history of the Champions League to start 2 under-17 players in a knockout match. A huge credit to Xavi. Many coaches in his situation would have preferred experienced players in matches like this. But Xavi is no coward. He knows what kind of boost Cubarsí, Fermin, and Yamal can bring to the team. Anyway, Xavi managed to surprise Napoli manager Francesco Calzone with his tactical choices. One of the key factors in the victory of the Spanish side was Rafinha, who operated as a left false winger. The Brazilian could be seen both on the left in attack as well as in the center of the attack next to Lewandowski. It was the Brazilian who netted the first goal once he opened up for Cancelo's pass and rolled out a perfect assist for Fermin's shot. No doubt, Rafa acted like a superb left winger. As for the second goal, number 11 played as the second forward, opening for Yamal's pass in the counter-attack. His shot hit the post, but Cancelo brilliantly finished their attempt. 2-0 in the 17th minute. The game was put to bed. Rafinha made the difference. Xavi's tactical move and well-deserved credit is on display here. The second half saw Barça losing control of the ball and the game. Luckily, Xavi made a double substitution in the 60th minute, with Christensen and Fermin being replaced by Romeo and Roberto, players who were not very popular with the Culés. After that, the hosts were able to regain control of the game. At one moment, Sergio Roberto gave an assist to Lewandowski, which sealed the victory. Think of it as Xavi's tactical masterclass. The fact that Barça played a phenomenal match has been confirmed by the statistical portal Opta, which noted that the last time the Catalans showed such form in the Champions League was in 2019 in a tie against Lyon. We would like to remind you that the Spanish Goliaths were one step away from the final, losing to Liverpool. Whoever Barcelona meets in the quarterfinals, these guys will give them a fight. Today is a turning point. It's an important step forward. Whoever we face in the next round, we will go all out to win, stated Ronald Araujo, one of the team's captains after beating Napoli. All of our possible rivals are very, very difficult. We will gather up to watch the draw together, and we are excited to see who we can face, Xavi said. It's one of my best moments as Barça coach. Now I have the hope of going to the semi-finals of the Champions League. Xavi has brought back the La Liga title and Champions League quarterfinalist status for Barcelona. And no matter what people say, a team with Ter Stegen, Koundé, Araujo, Cubarsí, Cancelo, Christensen, Gundogan, Pedri, Yamal, Rafinha, Ferran, Felix, Fermin, Lewandowski, and Vitor Roque definitely has a chance to take the Champions League. Seems like Barça are just picking up the pace at the end of the season, improving in physique and confidence, whilst Xavi seems capable of outplaying anyone in a tactical duel. Perhaps the end of the season will shock everyone. We'll see. We don't have to wait long for its conclusion. Nevertheless, in our opinion, Barça have what it takes to challenge almost any club. And this is exactly the task that Laporte set for Xavi when he returned, to compete in Europe. It was Xavi who brought Barcelona back to the elite of European football. And now imagine what people will say about this Barça squad if Xavi prevails over the next opponent and reaches the semi-finals. It'll become a truly remarkable achievement, while talks about their chances of capturing the UCL trophy will only increase the overall excitement. Xavi can leave Barcelona on a high note, with his legacy remembered for a long time, with many culés will only then begin to realize how much everyone underestimated his coaching genius. You have to admit, it's been a while since the last time we saw Xavi this happy at Barcelona. These photos are priceless for the memory of Barca supporters. It was a magical night and Barcelona deserved it. These are the words of Xavi, which are suitable enough to wrap up today's episode. Guys, what do you think of it? Can Barcelona win the Champions League and La Liga? Share your thoughts in the comments down below. Press the like button if you want Barça to win the UCL. The Inside Football channel was with you. We watch football from a different angle. Have a nice one, and see you in a bit.